Timesharing. That is the phrase printed on two different New York civil service notices, and if you have gone looking for what it means, you have found reading lessons written for school exams. This is what it means on these ones. These items put a roster and a log in front of you and ask something neither of them answers. The reading is easy. What costs marks is losing your place between the two, or answering from the first one you looked at. In the next few minutes, the technique, step by step, and then the 4 ways people lose points on it. First, read the question before either source. Work out which source starts the chain. Which officer was on the post where the alarm sounded? Starts in the log. The alarm is a log entry. What happened on Officer Vasquez's post? Starts in the roster. Getting the direction right before you look is most of the item. Second, carry 1 fact across, not 2. Find the post in the first source and hold only that. Every wrong option is a real name from the roster or a real entry from the log, so the thing that decides the item is the single fact you carry between them, not how much of either table you remember. Third, point at the row. Put a finger or your cursor on the row you are working from before you move to the other source. The mistake this format is built to catch is arriving back at the first table and reading a neighboring line, which produces an answer that looks entirely reasonable. Fourth, check the pairing, not the plausibility. Before you commit, run the chain once more in the same direction. If the option you chose came from the right row of the right table, it is right. If it merely sounds right, you probably answered from one source. Every distractor here is designed to survive a plausibility check. Now the other half, and it is the half most people skip. These are the 4 ways this ability is actually lost, not by not knowing, but by answering the question next to the one on the page. First, answering with a name that is on the roster but on the wrong post. Second, answering with a real log entry that happened on somebody else's post. Third, reading the neighboring row after switching tables and back. Fourth, starting from the wrong source so the chain runs backwards. Every one of those is a habit, which means every one of them is fixable by drilling rather than by studying harder. And this is why it is worth the effort. Time sharing is not one exam's quirk. 2 New York civil service exams test it. Special Officer, 6327. Special Officer, Health and Hospitals, 6328. Different jobs, different notices, different agencies. The same skill on all of them, which means the practice you put in here is not spent on one application. It follows you to every other exam on that list. Reading about a technique is not the same as owning it, and this one only transfers under a clock. Free practice for time sharing is at dutyrank.com/exams, with the reasoning shown on every answer. DutyRank is an independent study product and is not affiliated with any government agency.